I never wanted a Vizsla. I think it's about time I told you guys how we met. My best friend owns Louie's mum. Her name is Amber. There she is. And these are the puppies that she had nearly 2 years ago now. She had 10 puppies and Louie is there in the grey collar. Louie's mum, Amber, is a handful, to say the least. So I had absolutely zero intention of having any Vizsla puppies, and I was absolutely certain that I could not be swayed. There were 3 girls and 7 boys. This is Ambi. She was the best mum ever. At the time, I already had Vinny and I had a spaniel called Buddy at home. So a puppy just wasn't in the equation at all, especially a Vizsla puppy. And if his mum was anything to go by, it just wasn't the right time for us to take on such a high energy puppy. The problem was I was starting to spend quite a lot of time with these little puppies. In this clip, as you can see, they're slightly older. They're around 5 weeks old here and they're really starting to show their personalities. And there he is again in the grey collar, Mr. Loopy Loo himself. At this point, I didn't have any favourites. I was just loving every second I spent with the puppies, as anyone would. Now this is where things get a bit interesting. You are about to witness the exact moment that I completely fell in love with Louis, and I think he fell in love with me back. As you can see, his brothers and sisters are literally tearing chunks out of me. And then this happens.
Oh, you just want love.
Yep, that's it. That was the moment. However, I was still unaware that this had actually happened. So fast forward to another week later, I decided to go round to my best friend's house to help her take photos and videos of the final 4 boys that were left looking for home, which of course included Mr. Loopy Loo. It was becoming quite obvious by today that I had a favourite and the favourite had me. My best friend obviously wanted me to have one of her puppies. Ow. Good boy. Ow. 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 No. Fast forward 2 weeks later, look who we have in our house. This is Louie's first introduction to Vinny and Buddy. Vinny is a golden retriever crossed with a Labrador and he was around 8 years old at this point. Big brother vibes here. The first introductions went really well. As you can see, Louie was such a tiny baby. Vinny was very welcoming and Buddy, the spaniel, a bit jealous, but he was very gentle with him, which is all we could have asked for at this point. So we enter Louie's first week at home. We did our research on Vizslas, and like every puppy, they need lots of things to chew on, else it'll end up being your furniture or your limbs. At 8 weeks old, they are still babies. You have to remember that they've just been ripped away from their brothers and their sisters, and they're entering a whole new world. Having calm and kind older dogs in the house can definitely help integrate them into the new home. We were super lucky with Louie. He was a happy, confident puppy, and nothing seemed to faze him. Vinny and Buddy took to him very well, which was perfect. To help with his toilet training, we stayed downstairs with him at night so that we could run to the back door with him as soon as he woke up. There's no secret code to toilet training, it's just praise, consistency and patience. By day 2 of Louie living at home, you could tell Vinny had way more patience for Louie than Buddy the Spaniel did. Hungarian Vizslas are incredibly intelligent and eager to please, so we didn't waste any time with teaching him tricks that the older dogs knew. They could all get involved in doing some tricks together. In Louie's first 24 hours of being with us, we managed to teach him how to sit, paw, stay, and lay down. He was so clever. He picked everything up so quickly, always with a waggy tail. Of course, nothing is plain sailing, and we did come across problems with sharing of the toys. The older boys were very jealous of the puppy's new toys. But of course, we let them all play with the toys. They all had to learn to share. And another problem I did not foresee is I only have 2 hands. 3 dogs and 2 hands. Not always a great mix, but we made it work. I think we were on around day 2 of Louie being at home in this clip. You can start to see his real personality shining through. He's confident, he's sassy, and he can be very vocal. This is also the point of their puppyhood where they bite everything. So here you can see Louie's confidence is definitely growing with Vinny. He's beginning to try and get Vinny to play with him, being a bit boisterous. Vinny does tell him off here, and rightfully so. He needs to know boundaries, and dogs are excellent communicators. It's how they learn. As you can see here, Louie is chewing my mum's slippers. Feeling extra brave, he tries with Buddy. Yep, as you can see, healthy correction from Buddy. Louis backs off and all is completely understood. And although Buddy was good with Louis, it was becoming quite clear that there was a bit of a bond and brotherly love between Vinny and Louis. Looking back now, I probably would have said that Vinny was far too soft on Louis. He let him kind of get away with a lot. Secretly, I think Vinny very much enjoyed having Louis around. Probably because he had way more treats and way more toys to play with. I think the hardest part introducing a puppy is the older dog's jealousy, but if managed well, it can all be fine. Vizslas are also known as velcro dogs, which means they like to be stuck to their owners as much as they possibly can. I had every intention of having Louis crate trained because I thought it'd be great for him to be able to have his independence and sleep downstairs. Unfortunately, Louis slept in the bed with me since day one.
Louis.
And as you can see here, Vinny is not so delighted with that decision that I made. We all got used to it pretty quickly though. The best thing that we did is made sure that we had loads and loads and loads of toys hang around. However, it didn't stop them all having the same favourite toy. Jealousy was king. Louis, no. No. So as you can see in that last clip, Louis' sass was well and truly showing its true colours. Vizslas are renowned for being quite vocal, and I'm sure if you guys have been following along for a little while, you'll see that Louis is no exception to that rule. In fact, I think Louis likes to take it one step further. He actually answers me back. They also do not understand the concept of personal space. And when your big brother steals your toys, what else are you going to chew? Of course, the table. Not that they listen to any instruction you give them. Rules are just guidelines to Vizslas. They are not just Velcro to their people. They are Velcro to their brothers and sisters as well. And little contortionists. He's just making sure Vinny knows he's there. We couldn't be more grateful for Vinny. He was so patient with him. Taught him lessons, but was so patient and kind, and even put up with those needle teeth for months and months. Vinny needs an award or a 5-star trip to the Maldives for a whole month.
Guess where the treat is? Oi.
Vinny's likely thinking, what on earth have you done to us? This is the first time Louis properly saw himself in the mirror. Very cute.
Vinny. Rude. Good boy.
See, we did attempt to crate train. However, it just didn't last long. He didn't like being shut in the crate, and I didn't like him being in the crate. So that was that.
Don't start.
first time exploring the garden. He had a little chew on the flowers, played with the butterflies. It was a very cute moment. He was so sassy as a puppy. I mean, he is still sassy as an adult, but you can just see it in his little face.
Hello, what are you doing?
I'm sure Vinny is looking at him in this moment thinking, I can fit his whole head in my mouth. He's so small, he's so spicy, he's got needle teeth. What on earth have you done to us, Mum? Smells weird, but I think I'll steal his toy. Thank you very much. This is a classic example of how patient and gentle Vinny has always been with Louis. I mean, I personally think he might have turned Louis into a brat. Vinny and my doing, I think, perhaps. Yep, I definitely think we should take joint blame for this. I've let him get away with murder, and so is Vinny. They used to play fight like this all the time. The noises used to drive you insane. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see any more of Louis, please type the word Vizsla in the comments.